Yo, hey man. Good day. Good what? Post PLE evening because that's when you may be catching this live. Or you might just be catching it when you can, and we appreciate that. So much has happened in and out of the ring in one weekend to kick off October. And hey, it looks like the fourth quarter heating up in a couple different ways. And of course, we got to talk about it. And of course, we got to talk about it like nobody else in the world. So that means it is time for the first Black Champ podcast. And I am the pick. Yep, that's damn right. Podcast Intercontinental Champion. Camp from the Port.
And I'm the VP, DOC, JR Bang. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download, wherever you get your favorite podcast. Barbershed Network is the home. First Black Champ is the podcast. Of course, search all episodes at the FBC POD.
Tough
and
guy.
You can follow us on everything at the FBC POD. Look, man, evening show because we have lives, but also Bad Blood PLE. We get to talk about. We get to talk about the Crown Jewel Championship.
Yeah,
we get to talk about Triple H's comments around color, and how white people got to stop using that particular frame of things. Well, let's get into Bad Blood. Bad Blood yesterday. Decent pay-per-view. Not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. What was it? They said it was 20. First of all, let me get a beef out the way real quick.
Okay, let's do it.
Michael Cole is one of the GOATs in this shit.
Mm-hmm.
What pissed me off yesterday is his foreshadowing. Sometimes you can do a little bit of too much foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into the main event, I just wanted to throw this out because before we got to the main event, Michael Cole just got the foreshadowing like his life depended on it. Got to talking about everything that happened in Atlanta in the past. Mm-hmm. I did not know. For all of the old heads,
mm-hmm.
I am today years old finding out about Ole Anderson for a year and a half buddying up the Dusty Rhodes only to turn on him. I was today years old yesterday.
yeah.
So, shouts out to the Brick Cave crew. We was all in the chat like, yo, some shit better happen then if Michael Cole is doing all of this foreshadowing. Now, all of that shit didn't happen, but it was pissing me off because it's like now I'm expecting some shit.
Yeah.
So I just wondered before we get to the PLE. Michael Cole, stop foreshadowing so much. Pick like one thing and roll with it, because none of the shit that you talked about yesterday was even close to happening. I just want to throw that out there real quick. But let's start off with the first match of the night. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. We both predicted CM Punk to win this match.
Yes.
And that's exactly what happened. They got right to it. If this was ever, I'll say it like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know how Bret Hart and Stone Cold, Steve Austin, that match at WrestleMania 13, they just became the intro to Raw and shit, and it really changed things for the company. It made Stone Cold a face. It made Bret Hart a heel officially. It really ushered in the Attitude Era in a big, major way. That's what I said on this show, and others have said on their shows, that CM Punk is so much of a Bret Hart stan that there would be matches that he would do, and it would mimic a Bret Hart match. And that's what I think last night's Hell in a Cell did. I think that's what that Hell in a Cell did. What was your thoughts on the Hell in a Cell match?
You know, for everything that we expected, even big hip hop fan was Hella funny from Corey Graves to Michael Cole. But I'm you know, I think to summarize it the best way, I think it is a standout Hell in a Cell match. When you think it's like 53 now, right? It's 53 total matches. And even though it took them 10 months to draw this all out, I must admit, that's a great way to end a 10-month story. That is a great way because they beat each other to death, resurrected, beat each other up some more, and somebody actually won. But unlike every other ending to every match, either if they were in it or not, or just interfering in it, nobody really walked out. And I think that's very crucial and important. To your point about the Bret Hart stuff, you know, Austin got swept in that in that series. Austin got swept, but they both walk away bigger stars than they were before. Can't front. I don't know if that is going to happen with Drew and Punk. I don't think their stardom raised at all. I just think that's two OGs showing us how it's supposed to be done if we're going to do feuds and specialty matches in this era, and I'm not mad at that.
And it don't need to. They're two of the biggest stars of the company.
Yeah.
I agree with you. This was a great way to end a blood feud with blood. Like when they start, when they start pulling out the power tools, I was like, yeah, niggas bleeding tonight. It's lit. We back. We back to the days where we're blading and we're cutting. And part of Drew shit wasn't none of that. When his ass got hit up top of the head with the toolbox, I said, ooh.
Yeah. That looked pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Drew McIntyre for bringing in a new foreign object because the wrench needs to be incorporated more. Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we're getting to it. I agree. I think this was one of the better Hell in a Cell matches. I got to watch it a couple of more times before I actually rank it. I don't want to hot take it like some people have done. Like, oh, it's a top 5, and it might very well be a top 5 Hell in a Cell. But I want to give it a little.
Yeah,
it's definitely an instant classic. To start off a pay-per-view like that, it gets me nervous because it sets you up for the rest of the matches on the pay-per-view.
Oh yeah,
and you can't be a dud coming after that, fam. And they almost caught a dud coming after that. But man, what a way to start off a pay-per-view. What a way to end a feud. As you said, they did not walk out. CM Punk tried to.
Yeah.
And then he collapsed and got the oxygen and all of that. But no, I really got to give kudos to both of those guys for putting on an amazing match to start off what turned out to be a wacky night. But we predicted that. CM Punk went over on Drew McIntyre. Because of what's coming up, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, I wonder what's next for both wrestlers.
Yeah.
Do you shoot CM Punk right to the top to go up against Gunther? Does he go over on Gunther? I have my thoughts on that I'll save until after Monday Night Raw. I want to see where they're going on. I want to jump out the box on that particularly until it happens. Drew McIntyre. Look, Drew McIntyre got his ass beat so bad in that match that he needs to take some time off. He just needs to come in on Monday and just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to chill and relax.
Yeah.
Like he get the thank you, Drew.
Right.
Clapping all of that stuff.
And then see y'all at the holiday tour or whatever.
Right. Like, I'm about to go home. I'm about to go chill out for a little bit because when kayfabe or not, that back part was looking legitimate.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they ain't got watercolor in the ring and all that. They don't got that would movie makeup.
Yeah,
On his back anyway.
Yeah, that looked like that was legitimate. So
I'll say, like the scene in Rocky 2 when Sylvester Stallone came in there. That's what it looked like in there.
Man, so yeah, I don't expect to see Drew until goddamn Royal Rumble, if you want to be honest. But let's move on to the next match, which, like I said, it almost drowned it out. But Nia Jax defeated Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. It was a good tease too of Tiffany Stratton possibly cashing in and all of that. Failed to mention how Nia Jax really sunned Tiffany Stratton. Like when you grab somebody like this, when you do that, fam, you gotta. Nah, I thought off of that alone, I was like, yeah, Tiffany Stratton is going over. And we did say it. You said that Tiffany Stratton was going to win. I said that Bayley was going to win. Then Tiffany Stratton was going to win. Neither happened. Nia Jax is the champion. Do you think that was the right call?
Yes, even though it was the right call, even though, again, I was so discombobulated because I could have swore, didn't Nia and Tiffany lose the match on the loser leaves SmackDown match, and ain't they on Raw now?
Oh no! So it was loser leave for Naomi and Bayley. If whoever would have won that, whoever would have got pinned, if they would have lost, would have had to leave. But whoever pinned Nia Jax would fight for the title. They both pinned her. Then they had that one-on-one match.
So absolutely the right call, because that's why, see, I'm still hanging on to that because I halfway saw it thinking like, oh yeah, well, Tiffany Stratton is just going to cash in on Liv, which I literally thought was going to happen until old Raquel Rodriguez showed up. And, but we'll get to that. But yeah, no, Nia Jax winning, being a champ. Yes, it's the right move. Let's kind of like officially move on from all things 4 horsewomen, and that's respectfully. It's just time. It's time for somebody else from another time to come and dominate a woman's division. Yeah, Nia Jax. I like it.
I'm mad at it. I wish Tiffany Stratton would have went over, simply because if you grab me in the face like that, I'm whooping your ass. I might not get you that day, but you go catch one.
He grabbed she grabbed her like dude grabbed a homegirl in the Drew Hill video and the Never Make a Promise video.
Yeah.
When the flashback came over.
Yeah, like don't grab me by the cheek, fam. Like what's going on? But it was a great tease. Seeing Nia Jax get up like the Undertaker, like, bitch, what the. And like that was hilarious. It was a couple of botches in there that I thought was gonna hurt somebody, but it didn't drown out like I was afraid, because that match that happened beforehand was just so dope. So they on. Let's move on over to Damian Priest versus On the Defend Balor. Now I believe that I picked Damian Priest. You picked Finn?
No.
We both picked Damian Priest.
No, I picked Damian Priest for sure.
Okay, yeah. I picked Finn. I picked Finn because I said they was gonna come in and help. And that kind of happened. But let me just say, excuse me. Let me just say this. Judgment Day is definitely looking like Latin King Judgment Day now. And we'll get into that a little bit later on why. But it definitely feels like Northside Latin Kings. I watched the Judgment Day. It's like the Polish people and the Mexican people and the Puerto Rican people that just kind of like all in like North Humboldt Park. They all just convene and say, yo, we're gonna be in the gang together. Did the right person go over in that match though?
Yes, because and not just because I like Damian Priest, but unfortunately, he got hot and they took the title off of him. So you know, hey, and Aubrey, you're kind of right. You know, Finn Balor hasn't been doing the greatest as a singles competitor, but hey, I mean, look, he has won a title this year, though. You know, see that, like, that's the interesting part about Finn, right? Because yeah, he's losing singles matches, but now he clearly runs Judgment Day, and he won the title this year. It just doesn't look as sexy. Excuse me.
Look.
It just doesn't look as certain. Thank you. But yeah, no, Damian Priest, he needs a win. He needs as many solo wins as he can get, because let's not forget he was the world heavyweight champion this year, and he won it at WrestleMania. And we do not remember that. And it's October.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Look. Because of what happened later in the show, it changed my thought process. Because of what happened later in the show, I do think the wrong person went over.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Because I'm thinking if you have Damian Priest win, but you have Rhea lose, it goes back to my prediction that the Terror Twins will be the next tag team champions. Damian Priest beating Finn does what to Damian Priest other than put a win in the column? It does nothing.
True.
For Finn, he's a champion, a tag champion. Who's Damian going, if this is where they're going with the women, who Damian gonna pull up on and be like, yo, let's get the belts?
Yeah, right.
It's like, who we gonna put? Who? Because that would be the logical next step. I beat you. Now let me go ahead and take that belt off of you.
Right.
So what they're gonna say, Damian Priest, you got is Damian Priest and a wrestler to be named later. What they're gonna just pull somebody out of NXT? They're gonna pull Obafemi and be like, yo, is y'all two tagging up against Finn and Big Head like for the title? If it wasn't for what happened later in the show, I would agree with you. But since they pulling chicks out of a hat to be the Diesel to Shawn Michaels, it's like, what did that win us do for Damian Priest?
Right.
I would have rather them keep it going a little bit and Finn wins, and then we go from there. Now, unless you're about to tell me on Raw, you're gonna start seeing a little bit of the character that ain't win shit, but he's supposed to be scary. Then that's one thing. But if Finn is just gonna go up in the clubhouse and be mad and be like, I can't believe that I lost to him, then I mean it is what it is at that point. I mean, I know Finn is the leader, but I think it's a very good question to ask. Who's the real leader of the Judgment Day? Is it Finn Balor or is it Dominic Mysterio?
Well, I'm glad you said that. And see, this is why I felt Damian should win, because now what do the Judgment Day do now that Damian and Rhea are out of the picture? Because I'm not sure if we want to see Judgment Day, if they not fighting each other, especially where the rest of the card is at right now. Like, for me, I don't see anything compelling, especially with the job that Braun Breaker, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, like, there's enough people to make their segment shorter and shorter. so now that we're over this, yeah, you know what I mean. so now that this has happened, Damian can get out of it. Now, technically, Rhea won the match last night, so now both the Terror Twins won. However, now Rhea is going to want to fight Raquel. So now there's nothing for Liv to do except for egg this on.
And let's get into
her title against somebody else too pretty soon.
Yeah, and let's get into that because this was botch of the year, apparently. Rhea Ripley defeated Liv Morgan by DQ in the match because Raquel Rodriguez she jumped in. But apparently that shit went hella wrong. Hence botch of the year. Yeah. Apparently, what was supposed to happen is Raquel was supposed to wait a little bit before she jumped in, and she was supposed to put Liv over Rhea, and Liv was supposed to win the match.
Which totally makes sense to why she did it. And I was like, but did she hear the bell ring? Like, did she?
Yeah. That didn't happen. That whole segment turned out to have been fucked up. But Raquel Rodriguez is back, and she's with her former tag team partner, former tag team champion partner, Liv Morgan, and it looks like both of those two will be up against Rhea Ripley. Which I mean, I guess we got some Twin Tower things going on. The battle of the Amazon women. That's going on, and Liv is getting us Shawn Michaels on. So this is why I was like, okay, if we doing this, y'all should have did that.
Right. Yeah.
No, and this is also I was like, we might as well make Damian Mysterio the leader then if we doing this.
Right. And Damian Priest can't start beating up two women. So I mean.
Yeah.
Double entendre there, guys.
Yeah, double entendre there. But now we're here, and Raquel Rodriguez is a straight heel. But Donnie said it right. That match took the air out of the main event. I think it took the air out of the night because people were a bit confused. Yeah. But now that we're here, and we got Double R over there with Liv, and it looks like with the extra added Spanish edition, Judgment Day is definitely Latin King territory. What are your thoughts on the returning Raquel Rodriguez and what she brings to Judgment Day?
Man, well, unfortunately, she doesn't bring W's, which is the unfortunate part. It was hey, Dominic Mysterio is doing a great job. I was literally going to say that. He is the reason why we care about this feud. He's evened it out for Liv Morgan, and that's great. The addition of Raquel Rodriguez is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter right now. And it doesn't matter because unfortunately she's off of a long hiatus. It didn't do her job right, man. I mean, it's always difficult when you're Raquel Rodriguez. So it's always difficult when you have your debut one. We used to always watch the docs about, oh man, will the people still love me? Will they cheer for me? Whatever. I mean, not only did that go wrong, but the crowd literally didn't pop at all. Unless I'm totally like, I was like, unless my audio on Peacock was off, that crowd was just like, oh yeah, she do work here. That's what they was like, oh yeah, she do work here. Oh shit. I'm like, oh man, well, yeah, that didn't help at all. Like it's and that's got to be a tough spot for her. I hope she didn't do the media scrum. But because that's a tough spot to be in. That's a tough spot to be in. You come out, you do your due, and even like there are so many people that could come out and botch, and it still wouldn't like they would get some kind of pop. You know,
like Tangaloa.
Yeah. Like so, man. It just doesn't matter, unfortunately. So Raw. They gotta Raw by default has to be a Raw moment for 2024 now if they want whatever happened last night to mean something.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Look at me asking this question. I normally be like, was that Dominic Mysterio? Was that Dominic Mysterio pinata thing a little racist? Just a little bit, like little bit.
I mean, look,
a little bit.
The fact that all the white people pointed out does make it racist. now look, you got an Australian woman doing it, 2 American white males, and then what's so bad? The one American white male says, "I can't believe this," before it even happens. Before it even happens. So I was like, "Oh, so we're gonna look at the elephant come in the room." And then we're going to acknowledge it. So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, Michael Cole wanted to get his bar off, and he got it off. But hey, listen, welcome to being a minority wrestling fan, Latins and Latinas.
And we'll be talking about that more a little bit later in the show. But yeah, when that happened, I said, I'm not so sure about this. And to keep it a buck, I think that the crowd started going, all right, this is going a little bit too far.
Yeah.
At that moment, the Raquel Rodriguez thing, I think, was icing on the cake. But first of all, when Rhea Ripley went to the referee and was like, don't count out.
Yeah.
I like, this is already a little different.
And even with that, right? Even with that piece right there, because the Cam stuff was stupid, but it was funny at the same time. Now, look, if Rhea Ripley can make judgments like that on the fly, then maybe Raquel Rodriguez can come in and hit the finisher in front of the ref and cover her for the pin. I mean, look at how he just going to take rules from one competitor. This wasn't Judgment Day rules. What you just you're just gonna tell her don't count me out, and then she spent 2 minutes out there.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, but yeah, hey, it wasn't Mexico's level.
Yeah.
If I would have put it at a Hispanic racism level, it would be if you watch the match between Eddie Guerrero and X-Pac on Sold Out in WCW.
Oh yeah.
And when the beaner, and I was like, oh y'all, wow, what are we doing? What are y'all doing, WCW?
To me, that meter is high. I didn't know that was a derogatory word.
Yeah, it was high. It wasn't as high as Mexico's though. It wasn't as high as Mexicans on the lawnmower.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was nuts. See, for me, I have it ranked with Jesse Ventura's Tito Santana match calling.
No.
Because it's like, because I didn't get it until I started learning about Mexican culture, and then I listened again. I was like, oh wow, this racist as hell. It was like, yo, you can't. Why are you calling it the flying burrito? Why are you calling it the flying jalapeno? Why is he Chico Santana and his name is clearly Tito Santana? Like, why are you doing this? Like, you have a tiny sombrero on his tights. Why is this happening? Like those kind of things for me was like, yeah, hey, when I'm 9, I don't get it. When I'm 19, I was like, yo, that was racist. That was racist as hell. That's how I feel. People will feel about this. All the 9-year-olds,
man. He had the sombrero on his ass. And Rick the Model Martel had what? He just had the flag, right? He just had like the Quebec flag. And this dude had a sombrero, not even a Mexican flag.
Yeah,
a sombrero on his ass. Come on, Tito.
So all the young kids that are 6 to 9 years old, by the time they hit 16 and 19, they're like, oh man, like, so yeah, that pinata thing. And the comment about it, that was wild. That was wild racist. Like, they're gonna figure it out. They're gonna figure it out. Salute to your coworker though, fam.
Your coworker. Coworker with new Pedro Morales.
You know
we
what
need
I'm saying?
stories. So then we get to the final match of the night: Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Shouts out to the Alabama, Arkansas Pine Bluff band. Shouts out to my cousin, your homie, your fellow Taurus brother, Vincent.
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't there, his stepson, Brian, is a part of that band.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Vincent had talked to me and said that Cody had saw the video of them playing this theme song, went viral, and he offered up tickets to them to come to the event. And I was telling Vincent, like, yo, if they do the theme song, it's going to be wild. But I also didn't expect them to do the theme because it's a tag team match. It's Bad Blood. Yeah, go some tickets. Yeah, I'll just slide through. But then when the band was out, I was like, oh, shit. Okay, Cody Luther King.
Right.
All right. So you had that went on, and then you had Roman out there with the orchestra. The sound was off. Don't blame the band. Don't blame the orchestra. I blame the sound and all of that stuff. But then you had the Bloodline come out. First of all, let me just say the Bloodline entrance with Solo and Jacob, or Solo and anybody, really truly looks like WWE 2K. When you have the tag team, when you have the manager with the single player and the manager be in the back just doing some shit.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Jacob Fatu, he was praying. He looked like he was about to do Smooth Criminal and shit. That goddamn left leg was juking and shit. It's like, yo, somebody need to give his ass a gummy. Calm his ass down, fam. But the match went the way that I thought it was going to go. I even said that Jimmy was probably going to end up popping up. And I said that The Rock was going to pop up at the end. Now, I don't know what's the point of The Rock. I ain't write this shit because I don't know what the point of The Rock just standing there with a belt that we don't give a fuck about. Who was the shouts out to A+. A+ had me dying last night. A+ was like, here go this nigga with this belt that don't nobody care about. You ain't never meet Muhammad Ali, nigga. Like,
yeah.
I was like, yo, wow. Like, I don't know if he ever have not. I don't know if he did. Like, Rock met everybody when he was 12. Look, that nigga
that's true.
World when he was 12. So I don't know.
He probably met him at WrestleMania.
Right. He probably met that nigga at WrestleMania. Rocky Johnson was like, damn, I ain't make it, but you can slide through. Team. This is part of why sometimes we do the show live. Team Super Heavyweight Champion, Sheen Heavyweight Champion. That belt came in a Sheen package. I don't know what's better, that belt or the belt we're gonna talk about a little bit later. But the match went as expected. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes went over. Jimmy Uso with the super kicks and everything. My favorite part of all of this is when they whooping Cody Rhodes' ass, and Jimmy was like, so what you want to do, Oos? So what you want to do? Roman Reigns looked at his ass, was like, oh man, this was a one-time thing. And turned around, nigga, when I tell you I damn near fell out. I say, wait. Man, listen. It's just a one-time thing. Shit, fuck that. Oh, fuck it, let's go help him.
He's like, hey, yo, we won the match. What do you want from me?
My man was like, this is a one-time thing. Boy, I was dying. But then the match really don't matter in the grand scheme of things, right? But The Rock pops up, and then what happens after the night is over takes over social media, where Kevin Owens does what we've been expecting him to do, was whoop Cody Rhodes' ass. So clearly, Cody Rhodes ain't gonna be a part of shit that's coming up. And as far as war games go, if it has to do with that. So what are your thoughts on The Rock appearing, not saying shit, at least at the PLE, got on Instagram Live and was talking this shit though. But what are your thoughts on what we're about to see with this next iteration of As the Bloodline Turns?
Man, well, the one thing that I took from this is The Rock is only going to associate himself with the box office people in this feud. Because he ain't coming out for shit else. Oh, Roman and Cody back? Okay, back. Now I got you. Because he could have did that. He could have came out and counted and left last month. He could have did that. But it do not matter. The Rock. You know what? Honestly, man, what this looks like to me, triple threat match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. That's what it looks like to me. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Yes. True enough. You know what I mean? Like, oh, y'all homies? Oh, okay. For sure. I thought we had the project together though. You know
right.
what I mean?
This is what we doing.
Right. So but it's looking like triple threat match between those three because obviously they all want to be the champ. Like that's why, Dwayne has the Timu Super Heavyweight title, as Brandon explained earlier. Like then they did the whole belt swap thing. The Rock really carries his People's Champion Bull belt around like it's up for grabs, like somebody wants it. So with that being said, now come fight for the real belt, homie. Like we get it, you a legend, but come fight for the real joint. It's over here.
Yeah, I really want to know how they're gonna do this. I don't think triple threat. I still think Cody is going to wrestle somebody, and The Rock and Roman are gonna lock horns. I mean, I guess I could say that I think that this is where we're gonna find out that The Rock has been leading this whole thing, and The Rock is gonna officially say what I said that he was gonna say is, "Hey man, that's the tribal chief right there. Solo the tribal chief, but I'm the high chief. Like I'm the high chief. I'm still waiting on The Rock to use his high chief name, which I'm not going to try to pronounce out of respect. But I'm still waiting on that to happen, right? But then you add the Cody Rhodes thing in here, and I'm like, I can't wait till the video, like how they produce it, comes out, because seeing everybody go, oh look what happened, he whooped his ass after the match. Kevin Owens, look, oh shit. I wish that would have happened afterwards. Like I said, it could. I said it could. We could do that, or we could do it at War Games. We got it after the show. We got it. We got it on the streets of Atlanta.
Yeah,
we got it. If you ever been at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I've been at that exact point, so I know exactly where that fight happened at. So shouts out to them. But Kevin Owens, I want pissed off prize fighter Kevin Owens back. If this is what's gonna bring that back, then I'm happy. I'm happy. I want Kevin Owens just to unapologetically just beat people ass, and we'll see what happens if it's at Crown Jewel, or if it's at the Survivor Series. Well, it's clearly not going to be at Crown Jewel because if Cody's the champion, he'll be going up against the Raw champion, and stuff, which we'll be talking about. So Survivor Series, can't wait to see what's going to happen there. But I'm glad to see Cody is off of the Bloodline pause, and he's in a feud that I think, again, I'll say it again, transitional, but he can lose this one. He can lose this one, just like Rocky lost to Clubber Lang. We could see this. Now Cody could get that bitch back, but I could see him losing this to Kevin Owens. Yeah,
I could as well. I think it's a hell of a payoff for Kevin Owens. Like he has to have some greater payoff than winning the tag team titles at WrestleMania. He has to have one. Like he's the only other person outside of Sami Zayn that has really made this Bloodline saga worth a damn on every level. And now he's even getting over and helping assist in the story of Cody Rhodes. You know what I'm saying? I hit my mic and everything.
You can slap
But
the mic, huh?
you know what I'm saying? So I think that's possible. I mean, hey, y'all saw what I shared in the group as far as Cody being the draw as the champ. So you know what I mean? I mean, hey, they might be trying to save face for the fourth quarter. Maybe some fight Owens fight merch needs to start skyrocketing up because of a really big victory for the end of October or early November, I guess. I'm here for it. Though.
Yeah, I'm here for this now. It looks like both of these joints are about to speed up. But if you looked at Bad Blood, what would be your final grade on this PLE from what you've seen?
Man, you know what? Let's go B minus. Let's go B minus. And I say B minus because there was no better way to start it off than that. You know what I'm saying? Even though they really got to tone down Jay Cargill's hosting voice. Like, she kind of ruined that segment for me. But match-wise, couldn't have started any better than that. I think that even though Rodriguez happened, I do want to see how the Liv, Raquel, and Rhea thing shapes up for tomorrow. So since I am interested, even with the mistakes, I'm interested to see what they do now. And then, of course, The Rock coming out, uncertainty on the face of Roman and Cody. Those, like, usually what I ain't going to say no usually. What I like is for a PLE to happen, and I feel like I gotta watch Raw and SmackDown the following week. If I don't feel like I gotta watch it, then it's at a C at best, like a solid C or lower. If I feel like, okay, I gotta tune in because they gotta let me know what's about to happen now. And then, of course, Kevin Owens attacking Cody afterwards. Yeah, SmackDown can't come fast enough now. You know what I'm saying? So for all those reasons, I give it a B minus. And I am very curious about how the rest of October is going to go.
I give it a B minus as well. Botches in the women's matches. That whole thing with Raquel Rodriguez was just weird. But you start and you finished very well, and even going into the night, you did a great job as well, keeping us invested in. And we'll see what happens with that now.
Yeah.
Let's get into Crown Jewel. It was announced that there would be champion versus champion. So the women's champions on each brand and the world champion men on the brands, they're going to be wrestling for the Crown Jewel Championship, which will make them the champion of champions. So think of Night of Champions, where you would probably have 2 or 3 of the men's championship world champions. Like they had, I think the last time they did it, it was Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan versus somebody else. I can't remember. But this time there will be a big ass ugly belt that's on the line. And this will be happening in a month at Crown Jewel, aka Saudi Mania. I think this is Saudi Mania 6 or 7.
Yeah, Saudi Mania 6.
Yeah. So right now, if we looked at the matchup, it would be Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax. And it would be the match that I have been waiting for. Don't fuck up, y'all. It would be Cody Rhodes versus Gunther.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I can't wait for that one. I cannot wait for that one at Saudi Mania 6. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther. I've been waiting on this since the Royal Rumble. We gonna get it.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up, y'all. Don't have any of them because I don't want to see Cody versus Sami Zayn.
No. No.
Don't give a fuck about him now. Now with the Liv Morgan, Nia Jax thing, that's going to be a bit interesting.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this whole thing? This whole money grab, it looks like too.
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, man. Saudi Mania. You know what I'm saying? Saudi Mania 6. Look, there's a lot of money out there. So much money that they make belts. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, they made the belt to give to Braun Strowman, and we forgot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just
The greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Greatest Royal Rumble. And the winner is Braun Strowman. You know we don't care about that. You know Vince threw all that out on the way out the door. He's like, hey, give me this, damn it. Give me this damn belt. And so now we got the Saudi Mania men's and women's semi-invitational, because you know you only get an invite if you're a champ, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. Do I care? No, I don't care, because it's not like, well, I don't even know how to put it, because obviously they don't want each other's belt. But so no, here's my question, and this is why I don't know how to put it. Let's say Gunther beats Cody and becomes the Saudi Mania champion. So now, what happens if he were to lose his belt at the next WrestleMania? Is he still the Saudi Mania champion?
Is he still a champion of champions?
You know what I'm saying? Because technically, if I win the Saudi Mania belt, I don't care if I got my belt or not. I'm now the headliner for Saudi Mania 7. You can bring out whoever the champ is, but I'm the Saudi Mania champ. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean?
That's a good ass question.
So until they make it mean something more than, hey, over here, you're the champ. Like, hey, look, I'll pull a D'Lo Brown. Hey, and now coming from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, weighing in at 247 pounds, came from the port. Like, yo, that's how. Hey, look, hey, I'm from Jeddah. Hey, you know.
Hey, look, that's a good ass question. I mean, what happens? Because they ain't keeping these belts forever. Look, right. I'm already giving y'all my guarantee right now. Mm-hmm. Kevin Owens is gonna cost Cody Rhodes this belt, and Gunther's gonna be the champ of all champs. That's what's gonna happen, y'all. Yeah. Matter of fact, I have an even better prediction. Kevin, I don't know if this match will even be completed, because let's look at what we're about to see right now. Kevin Owens is mad at Cody, and Sami Zayn is mad at Gunther.
So, hey, you know,
that's who friends, y'all. That's who the only friends. And we can very well see this match go down, and both of them.
Yeah, it becomes a fatal four-way.
Get involved. They ain't even fatal four-way because they ain't champions, but they can be just like, fuck this damn belt shit. And then next thing you know, they friends again and shit. But it's a little bit different because Sami Zayn, you know, last night, he was a little angry.
Yeah.
He was a little angry and stuff when Gunther came out there and was talking shit to Goldberg. And then plus, it's just smelly that as soon as you start talking about some Saudi Arabia shit, heck up Goldberg ass.
Hey, yeah, man. Shoot. Hey, look, man. Brett is right about Bill Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, what's Bill Goldberg doing out there?
What is he doing? Like, he's just gonna jump the rail because he mad at Gunther. Like, oh man.
It's like, no.
And hey, Gunther, the second funniest thing that happened last night when Gunther said, "Hey, let him through. 3 minutes for you."
Hey, yo, you know what I'm saying?
What, you boy, I marked out when he said that shit. I was like, "No, let him go. I got 3 minutes for you."
You know what I'm saying?
I said, man, that's boy, beat his ass in front of his kid. You know what I'm saying? Have his kid go back to Deion Sanders, like, yo, man, look. Look, Gunther, y'all know how much I'm a fan of Gunther, all right? So I've been a fan of him since he was Walter. So last night made it even more. Like, look, mark it down. He will be your champ of champs. He's going to take that solid gold, weird-looking belt. He going to have both of it on his shoulder. Like, yo, I'm both for the champs. Fuck whoever else. And that's going to make it even more obvious that John Cena is on his way back.
Yeah. Hey, and Cross, I hear what you're saying, but hey, look, if I win the Saudi Mania title, I'm not giving up the Saudi Mania title. Like, hey, what was this a triple threat? What we do? What we doing? Because I'm the Saudi Mania champ. I'm not giving up the belt.
Just say King of the Ring, nigga. Like, no.
Yeah, this ain't the same. Like, you gotta beat. I won one match for this.
Vince said this is a title. You gotta lose or win titles. All right. All right, so that's been your rundown on Bad Blood. Check that out. It was a very solid joint. But let's get into what happened yesterday. At the scrum. So there's been a little bit of a scuttlebutt around Black wrestlers being represented on the main roster. That has popped up again. That there's a lot of people in the internet wrestling community that has upset a lot of people when it comes to this. Now, first of all, MVP had said something like months ago that a fan said that the Triple H era is emasculating Black men, and MVP responded, "You see it." So during the PLE or the post press conference, the scrum, somebody asked Triple H about representation of Black wrestlers in the WWE. This is what Triple H said.
Yeah.
I don't see the difference in anybody. I don't see the color. I don't see the nationality. I don't see any of it. I just see talent. I don't see the difference between men and women. I see talent. We tell stories with those talent, how they handle those stories and how they can represent those stories and how we can bring those stories forward. I don't keep track of any of that. I do what's relevant and what is best and what is delivered the best. That's what goes. No different than men and women who main events, whatever's the biggest stories are. That's where we go. Now, let me, as I was watching it live, the event, I tweeted something out, and some dude that had some goddamn blue tweet, Avi or some shit, made a weird ass comment or whatever, but it was weird. Fuck, hey fam, your shit blue. Get the fuck up out of here, fam. Don't goddamn talk to me about no goddamn shit. But yeah, so it was weird, fam. Like I don't even, and we don't even follow each other. So it's like, why?
It's always the worst.
Yeah. So I said that y'all was complaining about Black folks not being repped on the PLEs, and damn near every Atlanta rapper getting screen time. Fam, I text y'all this.
Yeah.
Bad Blood felt cultural as hell.
Yeah.
And this felt like, it's kind of fucked up what I'm about to say, Kim. But we had a pay-per-view in Berlin. We had pay-per-view in Scotland. We had a pay-per-view in Puerto Rico. And it felt like we had a PLE in Africa. The way every last rapper, it felt like it felt like they was trying hard as hell to just put Black folks in the front. I ain't gonna say where they found Jacqueline, because Jacqueline is a Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But when I saw her there, I said, "Oh, tonight different.
Yeah.
Tonight's real different." They got her in the front. All right. Then Booker T came, and then it was every rapper, like Lil Baby. Who else was Killer Mike?
Yeah. Killer Mike.
I know I'm missing a couple of other Metro Boomin.
Of course.
They had the party, and Lil Yachty was at the party.
Yeah,
and it was a lot of black folks at the party. The event was hosted by the WWE Tag Team Champions, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. And I said, man, the internet wrestling community had said this shit. And Triple H and them was like, oh, I know how we can fix this. We in Atlanta, right? Go ahead and get all of the rappers.
Yeah.
That's literally how it felt.
Yeah. DNC level pandering to black people at the PLE.
DNC National Convention, because you can look at it like, oh, we got the Amber Rose part here, and we got the DL Hughley and the Megan Thee Stallions and all. I literally was like, yo, they complained because I don't consider myself a member of the internet wrestling community. I'm not gonna swerve strictly this shit, but I don't be on the internet about talking about wrestling enough to consider myself a member. That's why.
Facts.
But when I look at the IWC and they're saying like, yo, we ain't on these cards, the black members, we ain't on these cards. And then you go to Atlanta and you see every last rapper in the front row. Look, they did all of that shit, and I still complain about Westside Gunn never being a part of this damn group that's been sick. Was Westside Gunn even there? If Westside Gunn was there and they ain't show him, this shit was for nothing. But that's besides the point. People were complaining about representation of black wrestlers in matches. And you said, bring the rappers.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the black IWC a lot, but on this one, y'all right. This was, to me, this was next level pandering. Before I say anything else, I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah, man. So to tackle a couple things at a time, fair warning and spoiler alert, I'm about to be super controversial against my own people here. And to the people that support my people. Just going to be honest with you. As a black wrestling fan, and in my fourth decade of being a black wrestling fan, right? I do not want to see black people at PLEs or Raw or SmackDown who I don't believe ever watch wrestling. I don't think her has watched wrestling a day in her life.
Oh. I thought you were about to say something else. I 100% with you.
Yeah. No. I see, and here's the thing about black representation. And as far as like the matches go, like I get it, right? But for me, right now where we sit, black wrestling fans in the IWC, y'all starting to sound like white people in the 2000s when they felt they were losing the country. It's like, bro, DMX didn't sell that many records. Like come on, fam. Like you know, like I get NSYNC was on the Clue mixtape, but relax. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you're not losing the country. I don't think in the grand scheme of the year of 2024, I don't think the black wrestler is losing in 2024. I just don't. I don't because of Swerve. I don't because of my man in TNA. I don't because of Trick Williams. I don't because of Bianca Belair. I don't because, I mean, dog, 10 months ago, Jade Cargill debuted at the Royal Rumble. Like, we gotta stop thinking, and when I say we, them, we gotta stop thinking that We have to own every single moment. It's 52 weeks in wrestling. There's over 300 shows a year. And I'm not saying that we have been in the most prominent spot in the last quarter. I'm not going to say that. But I'll tell you what, our superstars are still superstarring. And I come from the era where you were hoping that the superstars would even be picked that looked like you. So, and I know some of y'all might call this Stockholm syndrome. Oh, you're just used to not being represented. But I also don't feel like most of the people in that crowd that we're paying to represent me either.
18
you know what?
30.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I want Paul to do and the rest of the WWE? I want them to pick out the real black wrestling fans and put them in the audience. That's what I want. You want to really impress me? Find out who the First Black Champ podcast is and let us get 20 tickets so we can put Brandon and Cross and Ross and everybody else out there and be like, oh, hey, this is, the FBC community or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, look, if you can do it for the Make-A-Wish kids, you can do it for black wrestling fans. That's all I'm telling you. All right.
I feel bad. I feel bad for laughing at that.
I mean, hey, look, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. I am tired. It's 2024 and West Side Gun has not been mentioned by the WWE once. Like, yo, what is the deal? I'm tired of seeing the non-wrestling fans that happen to be black because they're superstars in the right city be highlighted. No. That to me, that's a way bigger problem than the representation in the matches.
Okay, so nothing, in my opinion, nothing that you said was wrong. I think multiple things could be right at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with the fans. Yeah, we gotta stop with the Marsha shit.
Yeah.
That's not gonna make it even better. Like when you look at the main roster, who you putting in the main event? Like it's using when I had a conversation with somebody about the radio playlist, they was like, yo, who are you replacing that Drake song with?
Yeah.
That's the answer to your question. Nobody, right? So yeah, they could have added Bianca Belair and Jay Cardill versus Damage Control.
Yeah.
But after that, who else you got?
Right.
On the main roster.
Right.
Now,
right.
NXT, we got that shit. We own it. Blacks and people of color own that shit.
Yeah, Dwayne.
So, but on the main roster, I mean, I can understand what people are saying, but what I don't want is people being put in spots just cause.
Yes.
That's what, because then you put them, it just don't work like that.
Yeah.
So the IWC can be right, but then again, I understand with the talent that's currently on the main roster. However, I wish I knew somebody that knew Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
I wish today, I wish I knew somebody that knew Triple H. I wish I knew Triple H. Because I would tell Triple H to never use the term or the shit that he used. I would tell him never use "I don't see color" ever again. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That is, you are the chief content officer of the WWE. Nigga, you live in demographics.
Mm-hmm.
You live in that. That's part of your fucking job as the chief content officer, is to know the demographic of what you are reaching. So don't tell me you don't see color when color and seeing it is a part of your job, because you get a document, you get notes that says that this demographic is looking at this pay-per-view or this event or all of your shit. You get that. I'm a director of content, and I know that. So if you're the head of content for a global organization, don't tell me you don't see color, because you get a document that shows who watched what, when, and how.
Yeah, right. Facts.
That's one. That's one.
Yeah.
The second part of it is, and Cody Rhodes had said something about this when he had a conversation with his wife.
Yes.
Like, no, I'm not racist. I don't see color. If you don't see color, you don't see my shit.
Yeah.
Basically, you don't see my experience.
Right.
If you don't see it, you don't see the experience. And it's not just about black folks too.
Right.
When you say you don't see color, you don't see any of that. You don't see the fact that Drew McIntyre ass went overseas to get his shit back. He didn't stay in America. He went overseas. He went back to the crib.
Yeah.
And like, I gotta go get my shit together.
Yeah.
You don't see the fact that Sheamus is who he was. It was the first champion of his descent.
Right.
Hey, you don't see that? Yes, you do.
Right.
Y'all
Exactly.
didn't know that Kofi Kingston was going to be the first black or the first African-born African-born heavyweight champion? Y'all didn't see that? If y'all didn't see that, then don't show shit when it comes to February. Don't show shit. Don't show Bianca Belair and Montez Ford and every other black first person. Don't show them going to the Lorraine Motel then if you don't see color.
Right. Yeah.
Don't acknowledge anything about the first black on your shit. You do see color. And here's the thing. I ain't bad at it. Why I ain't bad at it? Because we say on this show all the time, the demographic of wrestling is white men ages 18 to 34. That's the demographic. Right. So you're pitching shit that's going to grab them. Go watch that goddamn Vince McMahon documentary. You see white fans doing this shit.
Right.
They even talked about the demo. They even said 18 to 34 in the doc.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what you're going after. And there might not be a black wrestler that's on the card that can pull not only his people, but y'all people.
Right.
But that's besides the point.
They did. They let him go. Go ahead.
They let him go somewhere else. He's officially signed with AEW, and the way they starting that, even though AEW is starting to become WWF light, WCW-ish when it comes to the selection of talent, I'm invested when I see MVP and Shelton Benjamin and eventually Bobby Lashley. I'm invested. Y'all when he debuts, I'm officially trying to watch every week. But that's not the point here. It's the point when white people say, I don't see color, you're lying.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't see color as a cop-out. I don't see color as trying to make people believe that you're not racist. And here's the thing. Do I think Triple H is a racist? No. I don't believe that to be true, but I don't know this man. But I have not seen a black wrestler come out and say definitively Triple H is a racist. Even MVP was like, I ain't say he was a racist.
Yeah.
But and I think white people, y'all gotta understand this, fam. I want white people to understand this. And this is not to disrespect white people or anything like that. It's just y'all gotta understand this. You ain't got to be racist to have racist tendencies.
Yeah.
or stereotype tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
When you see a black person and you automatically clutch your purse,
Mm-hmm.
or you lock your car and you look at us crazy, and we nod and say hi at the grocery store, and you look at us like we stole your cat. When you run a multi-billion-dollar organization and your C-suite level people are not black, you don't have to have a DEI. You do not have to have a total DEI situation to say, let me go look at some people. Let me look at my C-suite. Let me go look at my executive level people and like, yo, I ain't got no black people here. We need somebody in here to help tell the story. I don't know how many people of color or black people that you have on your writing team. I know our man Kaz was there for a while, but he's no longer there. I don't know how many people you have. I don't know, outside of wrestlers, how many black people you have on your staff that are not wrestlers. That might not be racist, but you can't tell me you don't see color when there's no color. Well, let me phrase it. You can say that you don't see color when there's no color around you. So Triple H, if Triple H is saying, I don't see color, when you look at your wrestlers, you probably don't. But when you look at your employees, when you look at your C-suite, when you look at your executive level, your senior management, your middle management, and you don't see no black people up in there, then that's where the problem lies. And here's why. Because if that was the case, I don't expect the wrestler to do it, because a wrestler is probably protecting his spot. So I don't expect Montez Ford to go to Triple H and be like, hey, I know what you were saying, but stop saying that you don't see color shit. That's not what you're supposed to say. But when you look at the people that work in the suit area, there's not nobody on that level that's going to be able to come to Triple H and say, that wasn't what you were supposed to say. What you were supposed to say was, we understand, but there's no controversy. We look forward to amplifying not just black wrestlers, but all wrestlers. We understand we got work to do, and we're doing it. But I just want to make it known that I'm here to amplify everybody. But I do take what y'all say in advisement, and you will see what happens in the future. Because they do have Carmelo Hayes on the main roster. You do got Trick, that's the two-time NXT champion. You do got Obafemi, who's the longest reigning North American champion. You do have Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. You do have the Street Profits. You do have Jada Parker and old girl who's the NXT North American champion herself. Her name just escapes me right now.
Yeah.
There's people that are coming. You could have said, yo, if you look at our system, while the main roster has Bianca Belair, the Street Profits, and Carmelo Hayes, we do have African Americans who's coming up, and in the future you will be seeing a lot. Kalani Jordan, that's on that. You will see more in the future. We just signed XY. We just signed Mark Henry's son. Yes, that's why I said multiple things can be true at the same time. The black members of the IWC can't throw racism or the race card out anytime you don't see your favorite wrestler out there wrestling for a title.
Right.
However, when you say I don't see color, you're lying.
Yeah. And you're giving them too much ammo.
Not only are you giving them too much ammo, you're opening yourself out there to be critiqued in that area even more when you say you don't see color. Because as a person of color, as a black man, I would be like, yeah, y'all don't see no color, because I don't see no color on the goddamn TV. Yeah, I don't see color because I don't necessarily see y'all in the hood like that. Remember, on this show, I proposed a job in one of these organizations where their outreach to the inner cities and urban areas. There are a lot of people that go to JUCOs, that go to NAIA schools, that come out of high school, that probably have watched wrestling all of their lives, but don't know how to be a part of this shit.
Right.
I pitched that on this show. There are ways to do it. NIL is working because you're bringing in a lot of people. I ain't saying, yo, the WWE got to look like BT on Tuesday night. I ain't saying that. but what I am saying is you can't say you don't see color without somebody telling you, clearly you don't, because I don't see what you're doing for people of color outside of NXT.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you're 100% right. Whereas the IWC got to chill out and stop using that card every time black folks ain't featured in the spot that you want them to be featured at.
Right.
But when Triple H says what he says, there's a reason why. There's clearly a reason why. Yeah. And anytime a white person says, I don't see color, there's not a black person in the world that ain't Candace Owens that ain't gonna call bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes, you see color. You work in a position where you have to see colors, demographics, age groups, numbers. You know how many black people watching on the daily. And if there's not a black wrestler that you feel like can be like The Rock and bring everybody in, then you probably don't make him a champion. Because you know who did that? Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston had everybody of all races, of all colors, crying when he won at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. What the fuck y'all do months later? Have him lose to Brock Lesnar in 8 fucking seconds. Yeah. And we ain't trust y'all ass since.
Yeah. Even though there was a little redemption with Bobby, right? But no, right. I think it's right though. I think it's right what you're saying. You know, the I don't see color thing. I really thought Cody Rhodes got rid of this for all of y'all. He was trying to help. He was really trying to help. When he said a couple years ago.
Cody Rhodes has been trying to help white people in wrestling for so goddamn long. Yeah. Why y'all ain't listen to Cody Rhodes? Yeah. Y'all, Triple H, if you wanted to do yourself a favor, just talk to Cody on the race shit. I ain't got nothing for you.
Right, for sure. You know, because the honestly, and I'm being super honest when I say this, for me personally, Triple H saying I don't see color, I would have rather go far to the other direction, go all the way left, and be like, yo, niggas ain't really hot this quarter. I would have rather that. I'm like, you know, or play the numbers game with me. Well, I mean, hey, we're trying to get everybody in, you know, as much as we can, but no, there really isn't a black wrestler hotter than LA Knight right now. And we don't even have we don't even have him on TV every day. You know,
there's only so many spots.
Yeah, you know, right. Give me the it's only so many spots thing, and then tell me about Jey Uso, who's not white, and then Damian Priest, who's not white. And you know, there's so many other ways to attack it. Like the thing with black people, especially the black people in the IWC, and I think all of us watching, even us, is that well, the FBC community can handle the truth because we've been watching wrestling for so long. We can handle the truth, but you can't play the 50 Shades of Grey card. You can't play the Shades of Grey card when you're talking about not seeing color in wrestling. You know what I mean? Like you do see color, and it's fine. And Triple H, you know, but see, the interesting thing about Triple H also is that, you know, he has a history of not putting the guys that eventually get themselves over and get themselves in prominent positions, even the white ones. See Chris Jericho, see Edge, and they were like, yo, dude, saying that I ain't it, but look what happened. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think Triple H is, even though he's content, he honestly shouldn't be talent relations. Like he just there's obviously something great that he could be doing, but maybe he needs that buffer to be hands off, as far as talent and position them on TV goes. But I can't. But see, then I'm also lost in the sauce here because even though I think they're not using Bianca Belair the greatest this year, look how they are positioning Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is really Grand Slam Charlotte Flair, if we're being like 100% honest. So it's I feel him, but he fucked up. You can't go with I don't see color, because the thing is, he could have sold us off like, yo, what do you mean Bianca Belair is on everything out? I can get her on. And that would have shut everybody down, because what you gonna say? The one black woman ain't good enough? You know what I'm saying?
Not only that, we just had the Street Profits on SmackDown in a prime spot with the tag team championships. We got Oba Femi, who is the longest reigning NXT North American champion. Trick Williams is a two-time NXT champion. Carmelo Hayes just had an amazing match with AJ Styles, and he's fighting in a feud possibly for the United States champion.
Yeah,
like they're there,
right? And that would have been a better thing for him to say, because now the indictment for the people that's really watching wrestling, oh, you don't even know your product. You got to speak to the people that's just trying to poke the bear, but don't realize the bear been through the trash already. He in the house on the couch, and now you got to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like Triple H he made a lot of classic OG white people shit mistakes, and that just is what it is. I agree everything with what you said, so I won't piggyback on it over. I'm going to say one last thing on the topic for me, and again, this is where my controversy kicks up a notch. I don't want wrestling to get too black. All right, I'm going to say it. I don't want wrestling to get too black. While they already jacked up one theme for a wrestling show, I personally haven't been the same since we stopped using rock music for intros for Raw and SmackDown. I've been kind of floundering since then. I don't mind inclusion. I don't mind everybody in the world getting their hands in the pot. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Like we are the world, right? All hands together. I get it, but for the sake of pacifying the loud minority that just got here as far as being wrestling fans, don't make wrestling too black for me. Personally, I signed a black male that will take his daughter and her cousin and his wife to a PLE. Like, I don't want wrestling to get too black. I am sorry if that sounds crazy, but that is just how I feel.
I will piggyback and say that I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, if you hot, if you can tell a good story, if you can wrestle, I'm with it.
Right.
I don't give a damn who it is. Look, I grew up watching Samoans being savages and not having on shoes. And now we got Roman Reigns. I grew up in a time where white dudes were playing people from countries that they're not from.
Yeah.
When I found out Nikita Koloff wasn't Russian, it broke my heart. When I found out that Yokozuna was not Japanese, I was like, wow. Funny thing is, Otis, my cousin, who you know, he just found out. He was like, when we was at the house, he was like, wait a minute, what? Yokozuna wasn't Japanese? That's how long it's been since he's watched wrestling.
Man, listen.
I don't need wrestling to be extra black. I need wrestling to be entertaining.
Yes.
If you're purposely holding people back because they're black, that's an issue.
Yeah.
But don't force it, because then, and this is no disrespect to this man, but imagine if they would have forced Virgil to the top just because he was black.
Man, no, this is yeah. Obviously, no disrespect, but yeah, Is
No
literally,
disrespect.
you know what I'm saying?
But
like that's it can't be like that. We're here to be entertained first.
But do I think that Bobby Lashley should have been a multi-time world champion? Yes. Do I believe that there are other black wrestlers that should have been a world champion or been in high spots? Yes, because I've said on this show on many of occasions that Bad News Brown should have been in a blood feud with Macho Man or Hulk Hogan. So this goes back to even that. I ain't saying Coco Beware should have been a world champion. Not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that it has to make sense. But if you're purposely holding people back because of their color and not matching with the people on the stands, that's a problem. But what's even a bigger problem is when white people say that they don't see color. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's a cop-out. Yeah. And that is dangerous to me. Because if you don't see color, you don't see my experience. If you don't see color, you don't see the other people that you can bring in. Mm-hmm. If you don't see color, you don't see that little girl who saw Bianca Belair and said, I can be a wrestler. If you don't see color, you don't see Trey, who was crying when he saw Swerve lose a match. Mm-hmm. If you don't see color, you don't see my son who saw Chris Bay and was like, I want to watch wrestling. When you say you don't see color, that's what you're missing. And you need people around you. It proves that you need people around you that can explain that to you. Because you might not know that coming from Greenwich, Connecticut. You might not know that because, hey, when I leave, I ain't got to talk to these rappers no more. That's why you can't say that. Mm-hmm. So if somebody of color is next to Triple H, I hope you tell him tonight or sometime this weekend that I feel you. Don't use that shit. Yeah. Because we know who you are. Yeah. But don't use that term. That is the death knell for white people in this country when they say you don't see color. Because if you don't, that means you don't see me, fam. Yeah. Facts. If anything, what even makes it worse, that means you don't see me. You see money. And if you're saying that you don't see color, you see all of this, that equates to money. So even at my most talented, you don't think that I can draw according to the people that's in that crowd. But that crowd love hip hop. That crowd love black people. That crowd do. Because that crowd knew Metro more than your ass did. Stop saying that. Well, that's the show for today, y'all. I already said my guarantee. And my guarantee is that Gunther will be the crown jewel champion. What you got?
Man, for guarantee this week. Well, no, you know what, man? Everything that I said has it's eventually happened. I mean, we kind of talked up Braun Breaker being the face 3-4 weeks ago. So, you know, I don't I'm not really inspired to give a guarantee, but I will say this. I do think that Liv Morgan is going to end up closing out the year as the champion. And maybe, just maybe, she's doing a greater job than I think she is with one opponent. That's all I got. That's all I got. Because I ain't seen her do nothing else but taunt Rhea Ripley, get disqualified, to taunt Rhea Ripley some more. She did beat her, though. I'm sorry. She did beat her at SummerSlam. So she has won a match. But this is one of the most interesting title reigns we have seen in recent time. I don't know what it is about people not having to actually wrestle matches, but hey, they're mastering it, and I'm going to just let them cook.
Well, look, man, great night show.
For sure.
Hopefully somebody's talking to Triple H and telling him that's where you fucked up, fam.
Yeah, man.
But outside of that, man, campaign is off.
Man, hey, thank y'all for this. I don't know what I was about to say. That's crazy. Thank y'all for joining us for the Sunday night edition of the First Black Champ podcast. Hey, man, listen, thank you. Thank you so much for your attentiveness, for your likes, comments, shares, joining the live thread, and keeping us cracking up, and just contributing to the FBC community in your own special way. We always appreciate it. I know we say it every week, but every week it is greatly appreciated. So thank you so much for doing that. You make this community what it is. Thank y'all for not being really so ingrained in the IWC world that you come here with that fucktard shit. I mean, man, we appreciate y'all, man. It's all love. You know what I'm saying? And just know that if you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, you do so by checking out the First Black Champ podcast. It's the pick with the VP, DOC, and we are Rao. Fuck Johnny Wrestling. He needs no inclusion.
I ain't got nothing to say after that.